Hello, one and all, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Off the Dome. I'm your humble interviewer, Jordan Brown, and with me for the very first time is our charity champion. Say hi, charity champion.
Hi, charity champion.
Vivian, thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for donating to Doctors Without Borders. It's so generous and kind of you. This is my third one of these today because I grossly underestimated how many people would want to talk to me.
I mean, you're a great interviewer, so like it makes sense.
Thank you. Yeah, when I signed up for it, it was like Run DMG Ryan, when he came to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "What do you think you could do for prizes?" And I was like, "Oh, like this would be fun." And I was like, "Man, I hope I don't get zero." And I think I have 12 hours of interviews to do. So amazing. Like, it's so silly. But yes, I'm so excited, so grateful that people are so generous. And I mentioned this to someone just now, and they were like, "I was afraid you were going to like close off like entries because you got so many." And I was like, like Brendan Lee Mulligan, I would do anything to win anything. So like if at the end of the month I'm not in first place still, I'll slash prices and like double the amount of interviews I've got so that I can try and win. It's not healthy, but it is who I am. All right. Anyway, thank you for your generosity. I'm so excited to talk to you. One of the things that I love to find out from folks is your Dropout journey. How did you find Dropout? How did you fall in love with it? Where did you start?
Okay, so like a lot of people my age, I am 21, turning 22 on Sunday.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. I first started with College Humor on YouTube, like back in the, mid 2010s. And, that introduced me to like Zach and Katie and like, that whole group. And then it kind of like fell off for a couple of years, but like they've been like coming back every once in a while just because, it's hard not to make as good content as they do. And it actually wasn't until about a year and a half ago where I watched the the musical episode original cast recording on Game Changer on YouTube, and then I watched every like free like episodes that they had, and I watched every single one, and I was like, oh, okay, so there's more out there. I just need to pay like $6 to watch them all. And I had just started a new job. This bumps it up to like June of this past summer, and I watched all of it. And I also watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie that went out in that February, and that kind of influenced me like, hey, like what inspired this? And it turns out it was all in one place. So I steadily over the 3 months where I was allowed to watch TV on my job, I watched almost every single piece of content that Dropout had at that point. So,
and that's a lot.
That is a lot.
This is not. Yeah, this is not. I think when they launched 5 years ago, they had 3 shows that they uploaded.
Yep.
It's a hefty catalog at this point.
Yes,
that's super fun. Also, hey, shout out to you for calling it original cast recording and not Welcome to Mountport. That's a dedication of a real fan. I'm going to do that thing that I don't know if you're on the wrong side of, or if you're on D&D TikTok, but a guy called Justin's roommate a tourist yesterday because he had a question about an illithid. Anyway, it was a weird day on TikTok. But yes, yeah, that's super fun. Because it's one of those things that one of the reasons that I love to hear about those like stories is because they are also like unique, even if it's parts of it might be the same of like I started watching the College Humor sketches, but then like official cast recording, like bringing you over to like subscribe to Dropout is super fun. It also makes me think that you would be a person who would comment as I think it was, I can't remember if it was Zach or Josh in the last Make Some Noise. It was like, these guys literally raised me. And
literally they did.
Because I'm filled with bitterness for your youth. So if you've having watched a lot of Dimension 20 now, what are some of your favorite seasons that you've enjoyed?
Oh, I have a whole list. So favorite like Intrepid Hero season has to be Starstruck. I'm not a big Star Wars person, but I love like a like sci-fi kind of a thing. So I love that, and obviously the connection with Brennan and his mom being like a consultant on the series was like so sweet, and I loved it. Also, the amount of chaos that season was with Loose Duke and what was
Oh.
it, Aurora Nebbins. Like I just loved it. It was just so chaotic, and it was. I was watching that right around when my semester started in the like in August, so it was like a nice little escape from the pressure of being a
Mhm.
college student. So it was love that. But my favorite
Yeah,
side
I mean,
quests, yeah,
you can't get much better than like Brennan shouting, "Am I getting Ocean 11 on my own fucking show?"
I
Like that's
rewatched that
an
part
all
so
timer.
many
Like,
times. Yes. Like I am a
yeah.
like I will
Oh,
watch rewatch a moment like 3 or 4 times, like go back like in a row, just because it's like yes, I love the reactions. It's so great. Amazing. But I have two favorite side quests, and both of them
mhm.
are involve your blood feud. Um, they are the Seven and a court of Fey and Flowers. Um, yeah, they're my favorite
Hey, I
by
mean,
far.
you're in good company. Rashawn Scott's favorite season is the 7, so you were in good
Yeah,
company with your choices
I
there.
I love her so much. Like
Yeah,
like the love I have for her. I wrote like literally written on here is Rashawn Nadine Scott for everything. Um
yeah.
just
She's
because I just want to see her like
I
on every Dropout anything or
yes,
anything
yeah.
really.
Yeah, I'm like, because we're friends, I guess, like, which is
That is
very,
so
very
great.
weird.
Oh yeah.
Um, but because we're friends, like, I
Mhm,
forget how cool she is.
mhm,
Because I'm like, oh, I could message her and she would respond. And
mhm,
like, she shared a picture, Amber Ruffin from like Seth
mhm.
Meyers and like
Yeah.
her own show, the Amber Ruffin Show.
Mhm.
Rashawn was at her birthday party, at like a karaoke birthday party, and
That
like
is
they had a picture together, and I was like,
mhm.
what's like, Amber Ruffin is one of the coolest human beings alive. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh right, Rashawn is also that cool. I just like,
Yeah.
Rashawn knows who I
Exactly.
am, and so like I can't like I there's a weird disconnect in my brain.
The
Yeah,
circles are like they're like,
yeah,
oh, how did I fit into this Venn diagram? It just takes
yes,
one really special person.
yeah. I 100% agree with you though.
Yeah.
Rashawn is
Oh yeah.
so talented and so funny. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for her episode of Very Important People. It's her and Ross
I didn't know she
Bryant
was on.
in like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I
she's
know.
like in
Oh
like a full like
the
nun
emo.
outfit. Yeah,
Yeah, the
yes,
emo
yeah, like
priest.
emo nun.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Amazing.
It looks like it's gonna be fun. I've
Yeah.
very quickly fallen in love with that show.
Yes.
But yeah, the 7 is fantastic. A Court of Fame Flowers, obviously
Mhm.
fantastic. You, Bria Iyengar, like, we are mortal enemies, but she
Yes.
is truly like one
Yeah.
of the greatest storytellers alive.
Literally. Like I wasn't her first like dip into Dropout was Pirates of
Hmm.
Leviathan. And I was a fan immediately from the start just because of the makeup that she did for her character. And I was like, oh, okay, this is something I haven't seen before in like any of the media I had consumed. But she's just like I could listen to her talk about. She could literally read the phone book to me, and I'd be amused. I'd be
Yeah,
enthralled. I'd be entertained. But like,
yeah, yeah. I last night was listening to the most recent fireside chat for Worlds Beyond Number,
mm-hmm.
and just like getting those behind. I love a good behind the scenes. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's like my entire existence on the internet, but like getting like you get to hear like such joy and laughter with her, and the specific
mm-hmm.
one was Lou and Erica, because Brennan, I
Yeah.
don't know if you listen to Worlds Beyond Number, he's missing in Panama.
Ooh,
That's a
okay,
joke
okay,
from Worlds Beyond Number. He's
okay,
fine, I'm
okay.
sure.
Yeah. Oh,
um, but he hasn't been on
except.
one of their talkbacks in like 2 months.
Okay.
Um, and so the
That.
running bit is that he has gone missing.
I mean, he was in
But
Costa Rica
yeah,
for dental surgery, so you know what? Anything could happen.
yeah, it could, yes. But yeah, just getting to hear them like laugh together, it's
Mm-hmm.
so like joyous and fun.
Oh yeah.
um yeah, this also makes me now want to share, because
Mhm.
I talked to Christina Ariel, obviously also Pirates
I
Leviathan
love
fame.
Pirates is such an underrated season. like a
is
underrated.
exactly what I said to her. Yes.
Just because it was filmed over Zoom and like the production was a little bit iffy, but it was the pandemic. Of course, it was going to be iffy. But
Yeah.
like that's one of the ones I go and revisit the most often is Pirates.
Yeah. The thing that like I got to Dropout in 2020. So when Pirates was airing, I would have caught up to, like, I was watching live-ish. And so like for me, it holds a very special place in my heart because not only was like I understand like some people are like I don't like revisiting like quarantine stuff, but for me like
Yeah.
we were in the middle of it and like getting to see like anything that resembled normalcy in terms of like media was like such a joy. But yeah, Barbarella Sarsaparilla Ganglion. I just love her so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw she donned the wings for Christmas and read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
Oh, she did. I did
it's
see
on
it.
her
I did see
Instagram
it.
and TikTok. Yes. This is now just fully bragging for me because she did that as a present to me, which is wild.
That is so cool. Like, I honestly thank you for inspiring her to make that and share it with the world. It is yes.
Yeah, Bob is so good. I recently I DM a campaign, and my players went to it's an island archipelago called the Swarm, and then their capital city is a floating pirate city called Leviathan, and then all the neighborhoods are like named after Leviathan. There are a bunch of NPCs that are named after PCs and NPCs from Pirates of Leviathan, but none of the like plot points because it's obviously a very different thing. But I did at one point like my players went to like it ended up being the Golden Gardens because I said it once instead of Gold Gardens, and then I just like had to change my notes to like put an en in it. But they went and like they met Gardy O'Brien and Bob like saying I certainly didn't do an impression of it. I was just like it's the most beautiful performance you've ever seen. But yeah, and then afterwards I sent my players the like video of her reading "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Is like this is who she is. This is Bob. This is just Bob.
Yes.
Impeccable choices on your part.
I really hope we run into Gardy during junior year. I love Gardy O'Brien so much. But like the first time I heard their name, I was like, this better not be named after Grant O'Brien because they're two different vibes. It's two completely different vibes.
It has to be named after him though. Like it simply has to be. Yeah. Like someone pointed that out, I think, in my Discord the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I've never connected that because Gardy and Grant are so different." But yeah. But as we know, I assume you're a breaking news fan. As we know, they actually do very much love Grant at Dropout.
Yes, they do. They do.
This week got me good. I love the periodic. Hey, here's a funny thing. Here's a funny thing. Here's a thing that will make you cry. Like Dropout really just like is a real roller coaster of my life. So that leads into like I assume like that means like you said you're watching everything basically. Then Dropout is producing. So obviously official cast recording high up on your list. What are your other like game changer episodes that are like your tops?
I mean, the first one, the lie detector, just because that was like that was a really good introduction to because I think I saw those clips on TikTok first. I saw the clips of that and original cast recording, and then I was like, okay, so I went and found the whole thing on YouTube. So that, and it inadvertently introduced me to Izzy Rowland, and I will forever be grateful for that. Because I also saw her on The Sex Life of College Girls, and she's so good on it.
She's so good on it.
Yes.
She steals every scene that she is in. Oh, we love Carla on this channel. That's her name, right? It's been 2 years since I've seen an episode, but yes.
I love Izzy Rowland. I love Izzy Rowland. But other top ones, Noise Boys, those are some top. That's a probably the first one, just because it has that iconic like image of Zach holding the vase and then Escape Room, that's with Siobhan. It's so good. It is so good. Just Lou shouting to a PA out the window,
Yeah.
"I will Venmo you $20." It is so
I
good.
I can't figure out if that's the same parking lot as the Teenage Rebellion music video parking lot.
I don't know, and I want to know so
Like,
badly because
because
did they really
the
paint the entire building just to make it like blue? I just want to
because some of
know.
the walls look like that in that
Mm-hmm.
parking lot. Like when I saw it, I was like, is it the parking lot? But also they've
Yeah.
moved, I think, since then to like build a new
Yeah.
dome. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, just watching it. Well, I'll get the
Yeah.
answer eventually. I'm talking to
Oh yeah.
so many people
Oh
about
yeah.
everything.
So you called the Swifties and the Dropout fans. As one of
Yeah,
those myself, I will be looking. I will be stalking, imaging frame by frame. Like,
yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it was very fun because that video came out yesterday. Junior year, our first episode came out yesterday. And in the video, obviously, the solar tether, I think is what it's called,
Mm-hmm.
on top of the
Yep.
hang van is in the video. And so I
Yep.
knew what it was because I had seen the episode already,
Mm-hmm.
which is like truly wild to me and such a joy that I get things
Oh yeah.
early. But
Mm-hmm.
it was very funny because like I made a video about like how much I love this song, which
Mm-hmm.
absolutely I do. Sarah crushed it.
Oh yeah.
But like someone commented, they're like, the laser on the hangman would be so cool. And I made a full video where I was like, that would be
Oof.
cool, wouldn't it? Because
I know. I
I've
remember.
fully entered my villain era where I'm just
Yeah.
taunting
Literally.
people with my
Oh yeah.
information.
I know, and like the little spoilers without spoiling like the emojis that you put like in the
Yeah.
vein of Carlos. So good. So
Yeah.
evil, but so good.
Yes, someone did solve all three because it was a rock, it was a
Mm-hmm.
dog, and it was a cup, like a drink.
Oh yeah.
And it was obviously the rock at the end,
Yeah.
Moggy the doggy, and Kristen's clutch circle of power of the last of her green drink or whatever it was that she was
The
having.
weird protein shake.
Yes.
Like, oh gosh.
I was trying to find something that like matched it, and I was like, "This is close
Mm-hmm.
enough. It's fine."
Yeah. I'm surprised they don't have a protein like drink shaker emoji, but you know what?
Yeah.
I feel like all the gym bros would be using those.
Yeah, I typed in protein and nothing came up, but yeah, it's it's someone. I think I was on a stream and someone said I should do that, and I like couldn't stop laughing about it, and I was like, well, now I have to because it's so silly. Someone also asked me. I did just made a video about this. That someone asked me for one word that would be a spoiler looking back, but that wouldn't mean anything at the moment. And I said squeam. Because a character that didn't exist until last night.
Yes.
Which, that was. Anyway, what were your thoughts on Junior Year Episode 1? How happy are you that the bad kids are back?
I am so happy the bad kids are back. It's just a joy to watch them all like sitting in the same place, but like seeing how they've changed so much since the first season as like people, and you know, both the PCs and you know the characters and the players, like, you know, and I just watching them makes me happy, honestly. Like I love the bits, I love the, you know, I can't wait for the adventuring party to come out later. Like
It's going to be
so
our
excited.
First Bad Kids adventuring party, which is very exciting because they didn't start until A Crown of Candy.
Yeah, I fully did not watch the adventuring parties until like later. So I'm finishing on Sleeping City Chapter 2, like the full experience, like going back and forth, and it's such a trip. It is amazing.
Yeah. Well, those all like, oh man, those early adventuring party days before they were recording them right after the episode, when they were recording them like week of, goodness, those were special because those have the wildest energy I've ever experienced. Like Allie Beardsley on a ferry, 1% on their phone, like unhinged behavior.
1,000%. What is it called? Like the Manifest Destiny sign that was in their Airbnb.
Oh my god, I
like,
forgot
with
about
the question
Manifest
mark.
Destiny.
Airbnb,
Yes,
like,
yeah.
What? Oh my god,
it's so good.
It's so good.
Abria said that she turns those old adventuring parties on when she has to like clean the house and just like has it as like background noise. Like that's like her comfort show. Is their unhinged nonsense.
Same. Like I during when I first started watching it, I was making a blank. I crochet, so I made, starting with you know, Game Changer. I made, who was it, from like June to October, watching all of the Dropout stuff. I made a blanket. Like, it's just so
Wow.
good to like watch, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's just so good to ease. It's so easy to follow along, and it's so good to like, I don't know, like I can look down for a second, like count my stitches and still be like in the plot. Like it's the perfect watching for all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Very impressive. Just
Mhm.
crocheting in general, but very
Oh,
impressive
thank
to
you.
get that much done. Yeah. Oh man. Um, yeah. I just sit. Well, now I mostly sit at my computer and watch
Hmm.
episodes because I
Hmm.
I really, this is now just pointless information for you. I have
And
two different email addresses. The one that you have
okay.
for me is like my professional email address.
Yeah.
But like I sign up for like newsletters and nonsense with an old Yahoo email address because who
Yeah.
cares?
Hmm.
And then like it doesn't clutter up like an inbox I actually need to see. But so like all my screeners from Dropout go to my professional
Hmm.
one, but my Dropout account is linked to my
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
Yahoo nonsense, so I
Yep.
can't get them both at the same time. Anyway, I need to
Yeah.
solve that problem
Yeah.
because I have to
Yeah.
watch it on my computer instead of like on the TV, which is annoying.
Hmm.
Poor me. I have to watch my episodes of Dimension 20 early on a computer.
The agony, but honestly,
Yeah, it's a rough life. I
yeah.
will say, because this was the video I just made, that like the thing that was difficult about watching that episode early was, at least like when Squeam came on the screen for
Hmm.
everyone watching live, everyone could like respond together
Hmm.
collectively, like at each other and be like, what is happening? And could get answers.
Yes.
When I was watching it, I just had to Google Fantasy High Squeam and there are
Yeah.
literally zero results. There's now like
Yeah.
a page for him, of course, or
Yeah.
and like, but like at the time I was like, that has to just be a new character because someone would have
Yeah.
posted something. Like
Oh yeah.
the
1,000%.
like Dimension 20 fandom doesn't like miss an NPC,
No,
but
of course
like
not.
it was fully like me like on a second monitor trying to figure out like where this
Hmm.
character had come from.
And then
So
and then like the centaur guy, what is his name? Like Balthazar and like Duggan.
Balthazar
Yeah.
Duggan, yeah. Yeah,
I'm
it
so
was
confused.
it was delightfully fun. Yeah, it was really fun to get the bad kids back. I started watching Dropout. I mean, like I said, in 2020, so it would have been shortly after sophomore year.
Hmm.
Um, and so like this is my first time getting to watch the bad kids like week to week live,
Hmm.
which is very very fun.
Yep.
And just I think I said about it like it's the sophomore year energy, but with like the competency of Starstruck.
Hmm.
Like it's like
Yeah.
Allie bought the book and has their spell cards.
Yep.
Like
Yes. No more
they're
Ice
not
Feast.
messing around.
Yes.
Yes, no more Ice Feast. Oh man. Ice Feast. I also really love in those behind the scenes that Siobhan was still so mad about the cortado, and that it
Oh
came up
yeah.
in the first episode.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
uh,
It'll never
don't
die.
let it go,
Whatever.
Siobhan. Siobhan never let. Yeah,
Never. Never. Like, get justice for those
yeah.
poor drinks.
Um, yeah. So good.
Hmm.
But yeah. So let's say you get the call from Sam, and he's like, "Hey, we want you to produce a season of Dimension 20. What's your dream like table? What's your
Hmm.
genre? What are we playing with here?"
Ooh. Okay. First of all, if Sam Reich ever called me, I'd ask him where he was from just to fuck with him a little bit. Um, and then I also wrote this down. Let's see, like a side quest kind of a thing.
Sure,
I mean,
whatever. Yeah.
probably. Oh yeah. Um,
Otherwise, you
GM
would have no
Abria.
choices on who was at the table.
Very
It's
true.
Intrepid
Very, very
Heroes.
true. I do love an Intrepid Hero season, but GM Abria. I love her storytelling style and
Yep.
the way she like, I know the role is like 15, 20, 25, like those tiers of things, but she just goes with whatever they have, and it's just so interesting to me. But I would love to see Steffi, Persephone,
Hmm.
on another another table just because, you know, she's a fellow Virginia girl. So like I would love to see her again. Oscar, um,
Oscar was so
Montour,
good in the Court of,
he was so good. Um, but I would also, let's see, that's like, what is it? That's one,
That's two.
two.
You got some,
Izzy. I'd love to see Izzy again,
understandably.
just because I love Izzy. But like I know they like to bring in like people that like aren't traditionally, you know.
Mhm.
So either Zach Kornfeld from the Try Guys, just because he's
Okay.
been on
Yeah.
he's been on actually, so he does have the connection. Or like a Damian Haas from Smosh, just because they did their own D&D little thing on their channel, and it was really really cute. And you know he's pretty good performer. But you know, or like Zach and Oyama. But honestly, I'd love to see Murph DM something, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I just got into NADPOD. I'm on episode 4 of the first campaign.
Welcome to the party.
Yes, it is so good. It
I'm
is. I didn't think
currently
I
in
would.
a NADPOD Live T-shirt, so
I mean, I got my Gorgug. Like it's my
wonderful.
favorite.
Yeah.
But it's so good. But I would also like to see like the art department do a side quest, like Rick Perry do something. I want to see what is it, I was just looking at their names like last night, but like everybody in the art department, I would love to see them do something and like have to. I know there's a like a tabletop game where you have to like draw out the things you want to happen, and I would love to see them do that, just because they should get more appreciation. And honestly, they're so creative. I would love to see what else they could do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you. Rick Perry DMs, so like he could definitely run a game for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and at this point, I think all of them play, even if they didn't when they started there. But yeah, I 100% like get me Raven, Jesse, Shane,
Oh yeah.
Casey, like throw them all at the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So I've asked this question to a few people now, and I really love that you got us some like outsiders to like bring new blood to the dome. Since certainly Abria specifically always loves to do that, which is fantastic. Which is why we got Jasper and Rashawn in the dome, two instant icons. Yeah. So. Yeah, I would obviously watch both of those. Did you give us genre, or I mean, I guess like art is
yeah,
sort
like
of
artsy
playing in
thing,
that.
and then like the other folks, I don't know, like kind of like a Mice and Murder like adjacent. So like I know they probably talked about doing some like another like, you know, like I don't know, I'd like to see like a Western or something. I know they can't do that for like obvious reasons, but I don't know, like I don't know, Mintopolis was so good, like more mysteries, I think. Like
Yeah,
I don't know, I think that'd just be fun.
Yeah, I agreed. It's super fun. So you mentioned, I think you mentioned you are an artist, right? Am I just fully making this up?
No.
Right. What kind of art are you? What kind of art do you make?
Mostly fiber art, so crocheting. I've recently got into embroidery, but I'm looking to like start making my own designs. I really want to make like all the Dimension 20 characters as like little plushies, and you know, potentially like I would love to give them to Dropout just so they could like have little models of their little guys, and it's so much fun. But I love art, and I will literally do any medium. Just give me a YouTube video and a little bit of give me a little audacity, and I will try my best. But yeah, I literally anything.
That's super fun. Yeah. I assume that means if like you got the call and like dream job is somewhere in like Rick Perry's world, like in that art
like
department.
Get me on the island. Like let me go to Texas and get on the island. Like please.
The
Please,
island is in Washington. Rick is just originally from Texas.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, that's even better.
It's way better. It's so much better.
Yeah.
I always like to I say preface, but I don't because it's not before with the absolute qualifier that I have no pull whatsoever. So like I would love for it to happen for you, but I can't help.
I would love to
Yeah.
learn from Shane how to paint minis. Like that just seems like that's just so cool, like so detail oriented and just like the way you could tell a story with like that different like I love a different medium. Like I recently took like a digital storytelling class last semester and it was just so interesting to see all the different ways. And I used Dropout as a reference in my like final thing that I
Mhm.
did for that class and I got a 98 on it. So it was they using my sources using my personal
Yeah,
sources.
nice. Incredible. Yeah,
Mhm,
Shane is he's so talented. He's one of those
mhm,
that's like because like I've talked to a lot of folks over there now, and like it's like I have this like notebook full of notes that
mhm,
like has like all my interview questions and things, and like
mhm,
I try to like for every person figure out like, all right, they started here, so like make sure my questions
mhm.
are all like post like this season.
Oh
But for
yeah.
Shane, he was there from day one. Like he was
Mhm.
he was sculpting corn cuties. So like
The corn
it's
cues.
it's easy with him because you can just be like, talk to me about
Mhm.
any season, and he was on it.
Yeah,
So um,
that's so cool.
um, I mean, this was so much fun. If the folks at
Mhm,
home want to see, I'm assuming art that you post, where can they
mhm.
find you?
I actually just created a new Instagram account called The Art of Nerd. Um, what is it? I think it's like the under slash. It's like every other word. It's like what's it down slash
Un-
whatever it's called.
Underscores,
Underscore.
yes.
Underscore. Yes, thank you. Yeah, The Art of Nerd. And I recently just made that, so nothing on it yet, but I'm hoping to start posting original like embroidery art and other like just nerdy things. Like actually I have an example right here. I make dragons. So here's
Oh,
a
nice. That's
little girl that I
amazing.
made, Princess Dragon. So I would love to be able to make these for people and just sell them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. The art of nerd.
Hmm.
Just great. Yeah. Underscores.
I can email
In
it to you.
theory, I've put up the words on the screen at this point,
Yes.
but who's to say? This is
True,
amazing.
true.
Thank you
Hmm.
again so much for your generosity, both
Hmm.
money and your time. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. And as I have now done 3 interviews in a row, I don't know how to end an interview, so I'm just going to hit stop recording. So
That's
thank
fine.
you.
That's all cool. Yes, of course. Thank you so much.